welcome everyone, officially. My name is Ginesh and I'm the marketing manager at InspireTech. Thank you for joining us. I'll be your moderator today. And today's topic is workplace security and productivity in the age of AI. We have Bruce Chiu from IBM, RT Srinivas from Taiger, and Max Chan from InspireTech with us. As you all know, IBM is a leader in software-defined storage and recently has been recognized by Gartner as a leader in its Magic Quadrant for object storages 5 years in a row this year. And Taiger specializes in advanced AI-engineered information access and extraction solutions to automate complex cognitive tasks. And InspireTech provides easy-to-use and secure software products to boost workforce efficiency and productivity. We are really excited today because today is the first of the Future of Work webinar series. So thank you again for being with us. And let me go to the agenda for today. So we'll start off with a short discussion on the challenges after I go through why we created this Future of Work webinar series. And then in this short discussion that we have for the challenges, we will hear from our speakers what kind of challenges the enterprises are facing and what some trends that are happening. And then we'll have a short presentation from each company and a short demo on how these three companies' solutions come together to solve the daily challenges of workplace security and productivity. Then we'll close off with another short discussion on the future tips and tricks from our speakers and a Q&A session. And just a little housekeeping before we get started. First of all, we have a few small gifts that we will announce the winners at the end of after the Q&A session. And as for the Q&A session, if you have any questions during the presentation, please use the Q&A button instead of the chat button at the bottom in the Zoom control panel. We'll be collecting the questions during the presentation, then we will try to ask as much as possible to our speakers. Let me continue with why we decided to have this webinar series called Future of Work, because we wanted to highlight the importance of innovating and adapting to the latest trends. And a lot of organizations have already started their digital transformation journeys, but it was at a slower rate than what we had to face this past year. So pandemic has accelerated the transformation and changed some workforce trends already. So the adoption of automation, digitalization, remote work, and more. So we decided to have these webinars to get together with our partner companies to discuss how we help organizations to address these challenges, so ease the transition to this new normal and prepare for the future of work. And for this Future of Work webinar series, we have planned 5 webinars in 5 weeks. So every Thursday from now till 19 November, we'll be having a webinar at the same hour. So we hope that you can find some time to join us in the upcoming webinars too. And today we will be looking at the 3 products as a whole. So IBM Cloud Storage, IBM Cloud Object Storage, Taiger Search, and EasiShare from InspireTech. Our speakers will go through how these solutions bring file security and artificial intelligence together to secure and manage exponential data growth, and how you can achieve the operational optimization with minimum housekeeping while protecting the organization's data. So we can move to the short discussion and welcome our speakers. Welcome again, Bruce, RT, and Max, to the first Future of Work webinar series. So like I mentioned, we are starting with the short discussion, and I'd like to ask our speakers, when you look at the future of work, what are you all hearing from your clients as common pain points across industries? So what are the key challenges that they are facing these days? Bruce, would you like to start?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
What IBM we are seeing now when we are meeting our client in ASEAN, basically most of the challenges today is their data are growing. In fact, most of the data, or up to 80% of the data, is unstructured data. Many companies have data stored in too many silos of storages, and they are struggling with capacity and modernization challenges. Their existing storage infrastructure like block and file, which is on mass storage, were designed for structured data workload, like a database or DB2 database, but they are not designed to store unstructured data, which are very huge files, like your PDF, videos, file, etc. That is when object storage with its unique architecture can help customers modernize their infrastructure to create private and hybrid cloud solution in their data center. That also help them to bring out AI-enabled opportunity to their current and future application like containers. The focus for object storage is on the value and benefits that the solution can bring to the data center. And the right solution should not be just a matter of price, but also the value that it can provide for the transformation that the solution can bring to the economies to help solution or the business to move forward. Yeah, I will share more in my presentation later on object storage.
Sure. Arti, how about you? You wanna go for it? Yeah.
Absolutely. No, thanks a lot for introducing us, Ganesh, and welcome everyone. With regards to the challenges that we've been seeing from Taiger's landscape, I echo what Bruce says, which is basically so much unstructured data. And I think what we've seen with a lot of clients is even if they've crossed that barrier of storing it correctly, there's too much information. How do I find that information, and how do I equip my team members or my employees to find that information quickly and use that information so that they can progress and execute decisions? And I think that's where the real value is for most businesses. And I think the challenge is bridging that gap between getting that information and then executing those decisions. And yeah, that's definitely a challenge that we're seeing across a lot of industries.
Thank you so much, Max.
I guess for us, is the keyword is remote working, right? I think every now and then you hear, hey, the new normal today is remote working. How do we enhance the security of the files in our organization while maintaining that productivity level, right? I mean, from our customers, we hear that, hey, we have not things like we have not deployed enough VPN in order to accommodate everyone to work from home, right? Some of this office colleagues does not have work PC assigned. They might use their home PCs and all that. How do you control these PCs, right? How do you control file access? Or even file sharing if there's a need to share files within and outside the organization. So all these things, like, yes, later on, as part of my sharing, you'll hear about keywords like audit logs, right? How do you trace the different activities that's happening within the EasiShare platform? How do you monitor them? So these are things that we'll let you know more later on, right? In our presentation, as well as I think there will be, we'll end with a demo so that you can actually see all this happening. Again, later on during the webinar.
Thank you so much for sharing, everyone, like the challenges. Like, just to summarize, like what we have like touch base here is the growth of digital content and like the unstructured data, and then the challenges of the balancing the security and productivity, which is also the title of the webinar, while working remotely as well, right? So thank you again. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave the stage to Bruce, so he can explain how IBM Cloud Object Storage can solve the growing unstructured data challenges. So over to you, Bruce. You can share your screen.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we can see.
Hi. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, my topic is on IBM Cloud Object Storage for workplace security and productivity in the age of AI. Let me do this. Okay, 2020, this is what happened in the internet meeting as we are in this webinar now. Basically, the internet is changing how we used to store our data. The smartphone and the internet were the two primary catalysts for the development and adoption of object storage. Object storage initially took off because it offered unique capabilities that were essential for the development of internet-based applications that serve large amount of users all over the world on different devices. Example, Google, Dropbox, Spotify, where you listen to your music, Netflix, where you watch your favorite movies, and Facebook, all rely on the unique capabilities of object storage to provide the primary persistent storage for all these unstructured data. Okay. Some of you may have heard of object storage, but as I meet customers, some of them, they have not. So I prepared this chart is basically to show you the differences between block, file, and object. So basically, the key differences, customers need to understand that object storage is directly tied to an application and not to an operating system like OS or Windows, like the file object or your block object. For all your block storage. This is what makes it difficult to attack because a user who get access to an OS or file system can disrupt the entire file system for every application. And this is not the case for object storage. We make it the growing choice for modern data storage in the enterprise to securely store data, especially for the government agency, the banking, the banking, FSI, they have regulations, to protect the data and against ransomware attack. Because in terms of cyber attack, the hacker is not able to access through your Windows or Linux. So there's no way, they can hack into your object storage. Okay, and also an object storage has more than system metadata than what a file system can provide. And it's designed to store custom metadata. Custom metadata is very important in AI and analytics and very useful in IoT application. I think later Apti can share more from the Taiger search perspective, how they do tagging. Given object storage efficiency in storing and accessing data through its REST API interface, and very large pool of data, it is built for modern application like container. So you see the key difference, object storage, unlike a block, you need a HBA card like SCSI, FC, SAS, or even your NAS, you connect through a NFS, CRFS. Object storage, you connect through a S3 protocol, either through a WAN or your LAN, or you're very familiar with a HTTP, HTTPS. As long as you've got internet access, you can connect through object storage. Of course, with quality in place. Okay, why object storage? Basically, IBM object storage is very scalable. Can be deployed on premises in a data center, or you can even subscribe to IBM Cloud, or even today, there is a lot of cloud offering in the market from AWS, Google Cloud, etc. Okay, for the on-prem, to start off with the IBM Cloud Object Storage, minimum, we are looking at 72 terabyte usable. And anything below, you may not be use cases for object storage because usually object storage, the higher the capacity the customer, they scale, the lesser per dollar the terabyte will be. Example, today your block storage is built for performance. You get all-flash block storage or NAS storage. You build in the flash or even with a hybrid hard disk. It's going to cost you between $2,000 to $3,000 per terabyte. But object storage, you're looking at maybe $500 per terabyte. And as the user grow, it can drop to below $100 per terabyte. So this is the difference, price difference between the two. And object storage is remotely accessible. Object storage is intended for use by applications that are running on devices anywhere in the world outside the data center and over a wide area network from the storage system. What makes it uniquely suited as storage for internet, mobile, and IoT application is because, you know, as I mentioned, we don't need a HBA card. You don't need, as long as you have the internet, you can access to your object storage. And object storage, there are no standard mechanism for working with metadata other than the attribute of the file. Today, your Windows, even your laptop, you look at your file, you know, you can only see the attribute of the file can only show you the owner, the type, and the size. But with object storage, you can actually, it can provide the same basic metadata, but it also enables application developer to create metadata to describe the content of the file. For example, a digital photo object metadata, you can include the GPS coordinate where the photo was taken, the make and model of the camera, and whether or not the picture include any faces. And of course, cloud object storage is a cloud native and cost effective by design. As I told you, you know, as you scale, the more petabytes you scale, the lesser per dollar byte, per dollar per terabyte, the price will come down. When we participate in most tenders or RFP, security requirement for object storage is always the key that that companies they evaluate the vendors when it comes to object storage. So IBM Object Storage, we support the capability to secure and store data for government regulation or ransomware attack. Immutable object storage introduced write once, read many, we call the worm storage, and non-erasable, non-rewritable storage feature. This enables the business to meet the US Security and Exchange Commission, short form SEC. They have a requirement, 17A-4F requirement for compliant storage and compliance archiving of long-term and short-term record. This feature is available at no cost. When you buy IBM Object Storage, actually it comes with it under the portfolio of IBM Object Storage offering. By design, object storage systems are not modified when they are updated. You cannot modify object storage file like what you normally can do in your blog and your file. Okay, the only way to modify, you know, is to delete the object storage and write a new file. Okay, that is also the reason object storage is not suitable for your structured data. You know, if you buy object storage to implement on your structured data, to run it on a database, in terms, it will not be able to meet the performance requirement of your database. Okay. For situation where deletion or tampering of object must be strictly controlled, IBM Object Storage will provide a retention enable buckets capability. These buckets, also known as vaults or container, are protected by a policy called a retention policy. The retention policy will define when and if an object can be deleted. And of course, standard buckets are not controlled by retention policy. One of the biggest advantage of immutable object storage is that no special API are required to read or write data to IBM Object Storage protected bucket to lock down the data. User can use a standard S3 API. I mentioned to you the HTTP, you know, internet or HTTPS with IBM Object Storage. Data is put into a retention enabled bucket, and the policy can be set by using the application interface or by using the IBM Object Storage REST API. Okay. Okay, IBM Object Storage is designed to help customers future-proof their primary and secondary storage for AI and big data workloads. As I mentioned earlier, the challenges is on unstructured data, right? With a multi-level parallel access, optimized capacity and performance, and integrated real-time analysis. If you use it with a Taiger search, you're able to do a tagging to the data to help you convert the unstructured data to structured data to give more meaning to metadata. And IBM has a very different shaded offering, but it does not stop there. IBM Object Storage is also very cost effective with efficiency and easy to start. A normal block storage can take weeks to deploy, when you place an order through a vendor. But object storage should take only like 1 or 2 days to set up. That's why it's very easy to start. It stays online and it's easy to manage. And of course, as I mentioned in the previous slide, built-in security. And you see below the sample use cases are from customer who has successfully implemented the use cases using IBM Object Storage. We have also customers in each of these area and partner that leverage our solution for our storage for their solution. Just like EasiShare, we work very closely with them in a lot of opportunity in Singapore and also some opportunity in Malaysia as well. Okay, IBM storage, we are software defined. IBM is rated as a #1 vendor in terms of software defined in the world because we are really software defined. When IDC rate software defined, vendor claim that they are software defined is when a customer wants to buy, let's say, object storage from IBM, we don't force them to buy the appliance from us. They can choose to buy only the software from IBM, and the hardware is agnostic. However, there must be the hardware must be certified by IBM, to ensure that the performance that meet the specs of the ICOS that we have committed in our specs. So from the list here, you can see some of the hardware that we have certified, Lenovo, HP, even Dell, and Supermicro, and so on. Okay. To have a complete list, actually, you can Google IBM Object Storage hardware vendor, or you will find a link. You will see all the certified hardware that IBM has certified to work with IBM Object Storage. Okay. With this, I conclude my presentation here. I hope I give you a very quick overview of IBM Object Storage. How it's driving transformation in today's enterprise and bringing cloud object capability to the data center, which will help customers to modernize their infrastructure for unstructured data workload. It can bring, of course, AI-enabled opportunity to their current and future application. Any question, feel free to raise out in the Q&A. Okay, thank you. I pass on.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bruce. So if we just a few reminder, like a takeaways from the ICOS benefits, let's say, or the features, it is secure, scalable, efficient, and accessible, right? So that just to remember those. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna share my screen back to show RT. So RT will explain how Taiger search works and like different types of searches using AI, which is really interesting, I think. So RT, you can share your screen whenever you are ready.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you
Yeah,
see
full screen now. Yeah, perfect.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. It's absolutely a pleasure to talk about security and productivity when we think about the future of work, and I think that's pertinent in today's climate, definitely. I'm going to be touching upon a little bit more of that productivity component, and I think that's important, especially when you think about so many of team members working from home, and how do we really leverage the best of artificial intelligence to make that productivity really seamless. In the context of EasiShare and IBM particularly, you have document capture and you also have sharing tools, but you also want to be able to find that information within those devices. And that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about for the bulk of my conversation today. Just to set the scene, I'm from Taiger, and Taiger is one of Southeast Asia's fastest growing artificial intelligence startups. We're headquartered in Singapore, and we're about 150 people now worldwide. We've done more than 50+ global projects, and our three major sectors is financial institutions, also large enterprises, but also the public sector. We're a very key partner for the Singapore government in particular, and we worked with agencies from MAS to HDB to PUB and many others as well. And we're also international in nature, so we're deployed in about 8 locations worldwide. Just to sort of give you a sense of where in the place of artificial intelligence does Taiger really sit, it can manifest itself in 3 different ways, and all of this is powered by natural language processing, which basically tries to understand the meaning and the context, which I think is absolutely critical when you think about artificial intelligence and documents in particular. So the 3 products where it manifests itself in is firstly extract. So if you have unstructured documents, anything from invoices, board resolutions, CVs, anything that's all over the place, Taiger has the ability to extract key pieces of information and automate that so your back office functions aren't necessarily spent manually combing through so many different types of documents. We've also got a chatbot that really empowers people to communicate with that unstructured document in a much more holistic way and in a much more enjoyable way. And last but not least is search, which I think is what I'm here to talk about today. So when we look at the challenges that we see right now, and I think Bruce very accurately shed quite a bit of light on what those are, it's basically you have different providers who are basically looking at document management systems, and you have file systems, multiple points of access, and they all sitting in different folders, different silos, and that can be quite problematic. It can be problematic, particularly for teamwork, for productivity. And so when Taiger Search comes in, we've been able to sort of break this challenge in a couple of ways, particularly when you think about, say, the Singapore government, just to give you a sense of scale of how this problem set really can be huge. You've got different agencies who might want to talk to each other, but they all have different silos with their data systems. And something that Taiger's been able to do is expose parts of these data systems to each other, to different agencies, so that collaboration really increases, teamwork really increases, and that can be quite powerful. So you've got company growth of multiple repositories, different collaboration platforms, massive amount of digital content, all of these different systems. So what is Taiger Search, right? I've been talking about search, but what is it truly? So it's an enterprise search engine that utilizes the meaning of information to provide more accurate search results, understand user queries, relate content, expand searches, and retrieve that information more efficiently and precisely. In short, if I had to explain this, it basically increases findability and discoverability. I don't know about you, but there's so many times where I've tried to look for information within folders, and if I didn't know the document name, I'm stuck. I'm basically manually combing through to find that specific piece of information. And what Taiger Search can do is that because of that layer of NLP, which is understanding the meaning and the context inside these documents, you're able to interact with that information in a much more intelligent manner. And I think that's absolutely critical. So why Taiger Search? First of all, it's got far more accurate results. So less time finding the content or finding those answers, and more time actually executing on those decisions. Predictive search. So you might already have an idea in your head, but you're not entirely clear what that is. Predictive search can sort of help with a lot of that. Personalized recommendations. I mean, as people, we all have patterns, or in particular roles, there might be certain areas of those documents that are more relevant to us than others. And search, because of that intelligent cognitive capacity that it has inbuilt in it, it basically recommends based on what your search suggestions are, and even content recommendations based on that user profile or that interest. And all of this is, of course, supported with machine learning models. It can understand and expand. So one of the coolest things that I've very recently learned is about this idea of ontologies. And so ontology basically means the relationship of one thing with another. So if I said dog, for example, you might think of animal, but you might also think of pet food. You might think of the song Who Let the Dogs Out. There's so many ways that you can relate to one piece of information. And we as human beings relate to that information in this multimodal way. We're now getting to that point of AI where basically artificial intelligence replicates the way that we learn. And that's absolutely what powers these searches. So it's understanding not just documents in its silos, it's understanding the meaning, but it's also understanding how information relates to each other just as you and I do that. And that's absolutely powerful. Another really cool feature is it does document auto tagging, right? So talking about the metadata that Bruce was talking about, when you're able to store it in such an intelligent way, then what you're also able to do is tag that data in an intelligent way. So for example, if I were to say Lee Kuan Yew, you might think of Singapore, politics, prime minister, lawyer, UK, Cambridge. There's certain words that probably come up more often than others in that auto tagging, in that cloud tagging. And again, that really helps not just put that information or search for that information, but even classify that information in very clever ways across a lot of common document formats. And last but not least, which I think is super important when you think about the future of work, is improving visibility and collaboration. So the custom relevance algorithm increases as the organization's engagement in knowledge management. And that's absolutely critical. So this, just to give you a sense of what the UI looks like, and I'm not going to go into each one of these, but it's very convenient, very user friendly. So you type in the name, you get the answers. Did you mean something? You might want to try something else. And of course, you find the right pieces of information as a result of that. So you've got a number of things sort of working for you in the sense of what this UI really brings to the table. When we look at the feature list, there's a huge number of benefits of looking at search in this way, whether that's keyword search or synonym search. And this just gives you a sense of the breadth of what search's features are. And I want to spend a bit of time covering maybe a few of these, 2-3 of these, just to give you a sense of how this really plays out when you're using the product. So synonym search, for example, you and I, when we look for things, we don't always type in the full format of things. There are a lot of acronyms within our domain expertise or within our businesses, and search begins to understand that. So search understands that AI basically means artificial intelligence, and it's able to recommend based on that. There's also cross-language search. So if you were to type artificial intelligence and you're storing documents in different languages, it also basically signals, as it does here, say in Chinese, that I have picked up artificial intelligence, and that can also be really powerful, for instance. I was kind of telling you earlier as well, predictive search. So searches you type or autocomplete. And as you can see here, basically a person has misspelled to some degree what's going on. Or even if they did, essentially, the system is smart enough to understand that this is what the user is actually trying to go for. And that's how predictive search works. This is perhaps one of the key value propositions of search as well, but just the natural language searching. When we interact with documents right now, it's still very manual. So we'll type in the keyword of that document. If we got it right, then we find that document, then we read through that document. What if there was a way just to ask a question and you can get that answer? And you see that now in Google search across web pages, but we really don't have the capacity with documents within our internal systems, within all the silos that sit within our organization. And that's kind of where the bounds of search is really going when we look at natural language search. Coming to how this sort of looks between EasiShare and Taiger, right? So you've got the ability to store that information. You've got that common ground of basically EasiShare and Taiger working together, that unified semantic search, and then it's of course powered in multiple devices. And I think Max is going to show you a demo later, which basically puts all of these different components together. What are the benefits of all of this integration, right? So you've got that semantic tagging, you've got that ontology-based AI relational mapping, and all of this is layered on top of EasiShare, which of course powered by IBM is a really good trifecta combination, giving you the best of search accuracy, better insights, deeper insights, and much simpler maintenance because you're basically using one system for all of this. So thank you so much. That's my presentation today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Arti. I think it really it shone some light on how the Taiger search works with the examples. So now we have Max Chen as the, hang on a second, let me put the screen on. This is just an introduction, but yeah, Max Chen from InspireTech. He's the regional sales director, and he's gonna go through the how EasiShare fits into all of this. And yeah, Max, over to you.
Hey, thanks. Can you hear me? Thanks, thanks,
Yeah.
Ganesh. So just let me go through my slides. I mean, I'm taking things a little bit different with my slides presentation today. It will be a lot more use cases driven rather than product centric presentation, right? So, I mean, it's all the things that you have heard from Bruce, from Marty, you know, the challenges of data, finding information. I think these are real challenges that it's happening in even in my organization, right? Or in your organization, and obviously the employees as well demands the ease of using a single solution, one solution that can you know, do searches, can access different repositories on their backend. So this is where, you know, EasiShare comes into play, where we want to provide you with a single platform that the organization can manage, the users can share data. Again, the administrators can govern where all the files are, the security of the files, and all this on a single platform, right? Which we label it enterprise file security solution. The three main thing that we focus at EasiShare on the platform essentially are security. We want, you know, things to be authenticated, users to be authenticated when they access the files or documents on the platform. If, you know, users are sending to external recipients files and documents, we also want these external recipients to be authenticated before they can download or view the file, right? So this is what our key aim or focus of the platform is to have, right? The other thing is visibility, right? How does the organization, as I mentioned earlier, how does the organization track information, right? Look at activities that's happened on the platform, whether, you know, the user, what files are the user uploading, what files are the user, you know, downloading or sending. So these are things that I think as part of the organization, they want more visibility, especially when, you know, everyone is working from different places today. The last thing, obviously, is control. How do you set certain policies or company policies that can control, manage user accounts, you know, control permissions, set, you know, full access level to storages that are linked to EasiShare, for example, the ICOS storages that are, you know, linked to EasiShare. So these are the three things that at EasiShare we are totally focused on, right? And in terms of use cases, this gets exciting, right? How are some of our customers using EasiShare today? On the right side, you'll see three main topics that I'll be going through today: large file transfer, secure collaboration, as well as smart sync and backup. So I will show examples on how some of our customers are using EasiShare in these three areas. Obviously, not forgetting, you know, as part of the platform, it allows, you know, infrastructure modernization, how we can actually, you know, secure, upgrade the entire infrastructure, not just in terms of EasiShare, right? So integrating with other components like, you know, the artificial intelligence that Taiger provides, as well as storages, immutable air gap protector storages that Bruce has mentioned earlier. And together, you know, with more and more controls that's clamping down by organization policies, such as banning of USB ports, replacement of certain file access protocol that's happening in the organization. So this is where, you know, EasiShare comes handy, or comes into play for you to, you know, to leverage on our technology. Going to the first use case, which is large file transfer. I think EasiShare, we started doing this product 6 to 7 years back. And I think at the time, some of these pain points that you see on the left, like the banning of USB drives, are not enforced as a policy yet. But today, I think most of the pain points that that we have mentioned on the left, banning of USB drives, email file attachment, the usage of online storages, unauthorized file access. These are part and parcel of our daily lives today, and working in the office. So how does EasiShare address all this? We address it with encryption, architecture similar to what Bruce has mentioned, air gap architecture that we've deployed to many of our enterprise and government users, access, authenticated access control, and providing various different channels, or what we like to call client applications, to be able to access the files that you need to work on daily, right? So let's get on to one of our first use case. It's with Resorts World Sentosa, right? They needed a what we call an on-premise file sharing and request a solution where they need to have it deployed in their own data center, right? This is where EasiShare comes into play, where as a solution we are able to deploy EasiShare 100% on-premise, where users are able to use their work laptops to access functions like file sharing, file requests, and at the back of it, we are providing the administrators full access to what is happening every step of the way as the users are using the functionalities of EasiShare. At MSIG, we power the file request. So in this case, a lot of when I say video, car dashboard videos that is requested by MSIG, and before EasiShare, what they do is obviously thumb drive, CD-ROM or DVD drives that the policyholders have to put their car videos, dashboard videos into before they can send it to the service center. But with EasiShare, what we have done is we've eliminated the usage of USB or DVD to transfer large files, right? So today, MSIG is able to send a link out where the policyholders can click on the link to upload files, right? To upload this large files, usually 300 to 400 megabyte files, back to MSIG for them to review, analyze it, right? So this is how we have, look at how to improve the productivity workflow within an organization as well. In the second use case, we look at secure collaboration. How do you better collaborate with the colleagues in your organization, right? Using check-in, check-out versioning, managing folder permissions if you are the head of the department. How do you do online editing, right? Without downloading files. So you can actually essentially use EasiShare from a non-work PC to access files, to edit files, to work on office documents without the need of downloading it to a unsecure PC. Right? All this is driven by the platform that we have, as well as at the bottom. If you look at it, I've got this tag that says multi storage connectors. So not only do we connect to storage that you need to purchase new, but you can connect to any existing storage that you have in your organization today, right? Sentosa is one that is using EasiShare to connect using directly to the storage, right? Leveraging on the EasiShare platform to enable their employees to work, whether at the HQ or in and around the Sentosa Island, right? Providing them with a unified front end, a single point front end to access all the different repositories that they have at the back, that's running at the back of their data center, right? National Heritage Board is another example where they are using EasiShare to has a single gateway to access all the different files they have on their on their repositories, whether it's current file or archived data. And then we come to the last use case where smart sync and backup. So this is where not only do we allow, sharing of files, accessing of files, collaboration of files, we also think that files that are kept on your laptop, it's important, right? And these files needs to be backed up or synced to a repository, right? How do we do that? Right, through the technologies like Smart Sync, Delta Sync, which allows you to immediately up files that you modify on your laptop to a central repository. And our Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore, which manages the airport, right? What they have done is that they have deployed EasiShare. They have provided a way for all the desktops or laptops that's running within the organization, right? To be able to immediately sync data to a central repository where even if you do lose the laptop or the laptop gets corrupted, you will still not lose all your data, but maybe just 1 or 2 files that was not synced immediately after the backup. ITE, which is a local technical education center in Singapore, again with multiple campuses across Singapore. What they have done is that they are using EasiShare to provide easy access to files, no matter where the lecturers are stationed at the different days of the week. And not only that, as they move from campus to campus, they can also easily back up the files that they are using on their laptop through a central repository that is powered across the 3 different campuses as well, right? Besides the 6 customer use cases that I mentioned earlier, we do have many other customer successes that we have deployed EasiShare to in both government and commercial, right? Obviously, important note is that how do you want to deploy EasiShare if you choose EasiShare, right, in future? I think these are the 3 things, right? Deployment, architecture, and integration. In terms of deployment, I do want to let you know that EasiShare can be deployed across 3 different scenarios, right? Whether you want it 100% on-premise, whether you want it on the cloud only, or in a hybrid situation, in a hybrid environment where you want part of it in the cloud and part of it on-premise, EasiShare is adaptable, right? To provide you with this solution. And then, last but not least, I think this is where the title of our webinars, of the series of our webinars that we are running for the next 5 weeks comes into play, right? Not only do we provide a platform, we want to also provide you the best of breed solutions that we can integrate into the platform to make it future-proof, to make it better, right? For you to run your organization. We do have semantic search, which is obviously powered by Taiger, right? We have got data protection, full disk encryption. We have got threat prevention partners that enables scanning of files before they are uploaded into the repository. We have got data management, the connectors that I'm talking about, and this is where IBM ICOS sits as well. So not only IBM ICOS, we also connect to the rest of the IBM storage solution that IBM offers, right? For example, the flash systems. In the analytics portion, this is where we don't only provide what we call tabular audit logs, which is not an easy way to look at things, but we also integrate into solutions that provide dashboarding, solutions that can analyze analyze logs to deter potential breaches in the organization. So we do work with all of these different partners, and it will be an exciting next 5 webinar series where you will hear from all our different partners how they integrate into EasiShare. And Again, last but not least, right at the bottom there, you see REST API. These are RESTful APIs that EasiShare provides. So not only that we integrate to other solutions, but if you look at it, there are also other business solutions in your organization that you want to leverage on the EasiShare platform, right? So we do provide the RESTful APIs where you can actually integrate your business systems and leverage EasiShare functionalities to make life easier for you. Right? EasiShare, it's a platform that's with many ready integration, right? To best of breed solutions in the industry. We heard from IBM, it's a scalable, cost-effective, by design storage, software as a storage, a software-defined storage platform, right? It's application friendly with a lot of different custom data. That's cloud native. We heard from RT, Taiger, right? That the search is it's a world-class search engine, right? With AI-driven semantic search capability. It does indexing, classification of files. It's got all these advanced filters, as well as TechCloud and EasiShare, which I just presented moments ago, where large file transfer, secure collaboration, smart sync, and backup. So those are the three things, right? And all in, right? This is just a simple or rather high-level slide to show you how all the three solutions that we have presented today combine, integrate to provide you with, one of the best platforms that you can do your file sharing, you can do your search on, and with that, ever how would I say it? Ever secure storage, dependable storage at the back end, right? And without delay, what I'll do is that I will show you a demo, right, of how the three of our solution works. Okay, let me just set this up. Make it into full screen. I'll do a login first to the admin portal. Oops, I got to type my admin portal. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm logging into the EasiShare admin portal. So at EasiShare admin portal, this is where we do all our configurations. Whether you want to set up users, whether you want to set up storage. But today, what I wanted to do is I want to show you storage, how easy it is to connect to ICOS. It is essentially just clicking on an add, selecting ICOS, right? And typing in the respective, the path, the service URL, and of course the different keys that you have to that we can access ICOS, right? So just to quickly show you an example of how it looks like, it will be this way. So this is how I'm connected to the ICOS cloud version, right? Based in the US, with the respective keys that I have, and once I set it up, right, I can have different drives, different folders, as well as in each of this, I can also set the different quota, right? So, for example, this particular ICOS demo drive, I've got 5 GB capacity, limiting it to 5 GB capacity, as well as setting a permission for Max to be the owner of this particular drive, right? On the flip side of it, as Max accesses his user portal on EasiShare, right? Max will be able to see that all the drives that's been assigned to him, especially the ICOS drive, right? The ICOS demo drive, where you can access the different folders. Let me see, the different files as well, right? Easily. And if Max wants to share the files, essentially you can just select on the file, right? And do a share, right? Click on the button to share the file, right? This is as simple as it goes, right? Sharing of a file, whether it's do you want it to be OTP protected, which is where I mentioned earlier, you can actually authenticate users that you're sending the files to. You can also say that, hey, recipients that I'm sending the files to, they can't download the file, they can only view it from EasiShare, right? So all these are easily configured, controlled by both the administrator as well as the sender, right? The other thing that I wanted to show essentially is how I can easily upload a file. I've got a folder that I prepared that I'm going to just drag and drop into my user portal, right? And there goes, the files are uploaded. I can check whether the files are being uploaded, right? As you can see, some files are being uploaded, some files are in queue. Right, some are going through our threat prevention analysis, where, as I mentioned earlier, some of it are being scanned with an AV so that no malicious file or malware files are being uploaded into the system, right? As some of the files are being uploaded or in the process of uploaded, I'll show you what has been uploaded. As you can see, files comes in various different types as well, right? PowerPoint, your PDFs, your Word documents, or Excel document. And as I did mention earlier as well, EasiShare, if you do want to ring fence the entire thing, you can actually do it by allowing the user access to EasiShare and editing files on the EasiShare platform, right? So without them being able to download it off onto their PC, right? This is where you can additionally secure and control things that you want to control, right? Besides uploading of files, sharing of files, and all the different functionalities that I've shown, I have also need to search for files. This is where the integration with Taiger comes into play, right? As I click on the search button, the powerful Taiger search comes popping up, right? And then has the files that I've uploaded earlier, I can actually do a search. Let's see whether I can search for anything that is Taiger related, right? So immediately the search comes out detailing which file has got the Taiger reference, right? Or I can do EasiShare, right? So again, easily show you all the different things with the respective filtering, cloud tagging, relationship browser that RT mentioned earlier, right? And one last search on IBM. So IBM comes out as well because I do have the white paper. We are doing the seminar together, right? So these are all the things that I've just uploaded, and it immediately indexed it for users to search. So not only do we search, does it search this single folder, but it searches throughout the entire the drives that the user has got access to, right? With that, what I'll do is I'll hand it back to Gunesh to finish off.
Sure, Max. Yeah, thank you so much. Again, a few key points just to remember the use cases that you shared: the secure collaboration, the large file transfer, and then we have the sync and backup, right, for EasiShare. And then when three of the solutions like come together as a whole, then it becomes like a really powerful solution, basically using the artificial intelligence to increase the productivity, while you can just set all of the policies at the back end using the admin portal like really easily. In the meantime, let me just share my screen, which is we're gonna do like a really short tips and tricks section, which is then I will, before we move on to the Q&A, in the meantime, you can already start writing your questions under the Q&A. I wanna ask our speakers to share a few recommendations that we can all take away from the webinar. And so when you look at the, again, future of work, what are some tips and tricks that you can share with us? So Bruce, you wanna go for it?
Yeah, sure. As the topic today, we have been talking about unstructured data. He have been sharing about doing all these tagging to the unstructured data to give them more meaning. The companies can consider, since we can't stop the growth of unstructured data, they are growing. Like today, I read the IDC report. By 2024, the unstructured data growth will be 3 times, and what they are actually happening today. So think about leveraging this unstructured data to, do some form of analytics, AI, to give you some insights to your business to help you gain competitive advantages. Yeah, so something along that line. Okay.
Artie?
Yeah, sure. I'd say one of the things to evaluate is what's your current process right now, right? How are you actually storing information right now? How are you looking for information right now? And I think that often having that level of awareness as to seeing how much time are you spending, if you're doing, say, manual processes, how much time are you really spending? And then when you kind of look at this integrated solution together, you might be able to see that, okay, I might have the ability to then save this much time. And what does that really mean for my business? Can I then use those hours to push my business ahead and execute on different things? And I would urge people to think about what their current process is and how much time do they spend just because of how inefficiently their data is within their company at this time and at this moment.
Thank you so much, Max.
Yeah, I mean, I think I summed it up earlier. Do look for a platform with agnostic integration, right? So that you can, the platform is future-proof, right? You can integrate to the best of breed solutions that's in the market, not only to a specific few products, right? Like what I've shown, that one nice last slide that I said was the final slide earlier. You do have all the integration points to the data management, to the threat prevention analytics. So look for a solution that has got a platform that is future ready for the new normal. Right? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you too. So we are opening the floor to the questions right now. I do have a couple of questions. I also know we are out of time already, but let me just then ask 2 or 3 small questions. Then I will announce our winners, and then we are done basically. So here we have one question here. Let me just, what is the smallest or minimum configuration to get started with ICOS? I mean, I summed it up. IBM Cloud Object Storage. Bruce, you want to take that?
Yes, ICOS, the minimum configuration, you can start off is 72 terabyte. You can actually scale to thousands of terabytes or even petabytes. Yeah, the minimum is 72 terabyte usable to get yourself started.
And then I have one more question here. This is RT for you. How does the initial setup of the Taiger search works? So how is the process?
It's simple, the integration. We can, if you're using, of course, the InspireTech platform, I think it's already inbuilt, so it's almost like straight off the bat, right? So as you sign in, you get access to all of that. With regards to Taiger search itself, if you want to just use it independently, talk to us. We will be able to understand what are your current systems. Do you want it on-prem? Do you want it on cloud? And then likewise, do a very quick technical assessment for you, and then go from there.
And then Max, let me choose one question for you. For the EasiShare, what is the key differentiation from the other products out there? Yeah, from the competitors.
So I think it's what I mentioned earlier, security, visibility, control. Those are our main focal point. Besides that, obviously in the security, I mentioned also air gap technology. I think we are one of the few solutions in the market, few enterprise file share security solution in the market that has got this air-gap architecture that many of our government agencies are, leveraging on EasiShare. In terms of, our visibility and control, I think we also have built-in many functions that allows you to monitor all the different, activities that's happening on the platform, as well as providing you with a lot of reports or dashboards that you can view.
Yeah, thank you so much, because I think we have already overrun the other questions. We will be taking it offline, and then we will get back to you, each speaker will get back to you in respective questions. And let me just, so as a holistic solution, like free products, we do have a free trial with, you can see for 2 weeks, you can use 5 EasiShare users and 25 GB iCore software with the Taiger search function built in. Just let us know at the end of the, when you exit this webinar, you will see a feedback form. When you fill it up, if you choose the, I want to try the solution, then you can just, we will get back to you on that. And so these are the upcoming webinars. We do have 4 of them left after this one. Next 3 will be more focused on the security with content disarmament reconstruction technology, and then some encryption also inclusive. We will have IBM again, and then Athena Dynamics Security. So like Max said, the integration, this is the beauty of it. Then when you put all of them together, then you have more scalable and a secure solution. So this is the QR code for the registration to next week's webinar. And at the end of the feedback form, then we will get back to you again for the, if you have time in the next upcoming weeks, we will be sharing different parts of EasiShare from our side, of course. So it will be a new information for you too. And then let me just tell the names of the winners quickly. I'm sure everyone has to go to their next meetings or something. So we have Travis Tay, Rinda Bal, and Wona Tun. So we will get back, we will get in touch with you, and we will arrange the gift receiving. And again, you will receive the survey at the end. It will be great if you can fill out the survey. Thank you so much for attending our webinar and spending your hour with us. It was great having you all here. And thank you again, all of the speakers, Bruce, Max, and Arti, being with us today. We are looking forward to next week already. So have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.